Before we get into today's topic, man, check out this Mavs gear, man. I just got all this good stuff. The Mavericks are having a sale at the American Airlines Center. So if you're watching this video on the week of July 17, 2023, you still got the whole week to go and get you some stuff. If you're watching this after that period, SOL. Anyway, let's get to the video. So I started thinking to myself the other day as I was going through YouTube, checking out videos. There was Dallas Mavericks videos that were coming up calling us contenders, that we won the off season, making it seem as if we are ready to compete for a championship. And without looking at the videos, I had to think to myself, unbiasedly, are we, the Dallas Mavericks, as currently constructed, an NBA championship contender? Let's get into that. All right, so the whole point of this video is really to talk about the Dallas Mavericks and where we stand in the whole realm of contention for a championship, okay? So first things first, as the title says, the Mavericks are a center away from a championship or a center away from contention. However I wrote it, I don't know. I'll decide when I'm editing. But the thing is, the Mavericks are legitimately a center away from either contending for a title or winning a title. The thing is, right, there's so many layers to this conversation. You could look at it as if, oh, the Mavs had a great offseason. They're kind of set to go forward. And, you know, they locked up Kyrie. They have Luka. They have Grant Williams. They have these young guns and Max and Lively. They got Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr. They got Josh Green year 4. They got Hardy year 2. They got all these things going for them. They're ready to compete, right? While on the other side of that quote-unquote coin, we still don't have the main thing that has been our issue, and that is a rebounding center or a center that protects the rim, protects the paint, etc., etc. And so as I've seen the thumbnails to these videos, and without watching them entirely because I just didn't want it to, you know, take away from my own opinion. Like, I watch a lot of Mavs content. Shout out to We Talk Mavs. Shout out to Mavs Outsiders, Locked On, all the guys, all the podcasts, 77 or what, 21 going on 77, everything. All the Mavs content creators. Shout out to all of them. But there's only so much Mavs content I could take without feeling like maybe I'm losing my own mind here, where I'm losing my own authentic thoughts. So I have to stop sometimes. And when I started noticing this trend on YouTube that there's, you know, videos saying we're contenders, saying we won the offseason, that we're gonna go win championships, I do feel like the Mavericks won the offseason, and I do feel like the Mavs are playoff contenders. I just don't know if we're ready to be championship contenders. And the reason for that is because we don't have, and I hate this term, like an MFer, right? But I hate this term so much. It's called the stopgap center. Apparently we don't have that. But I would like a starting center. And that's where it all comes down to. However, here's a nice caveat to everybody, right? Or caveat, whatever. Derek Lively, I do feel like that's the missing piece to all of this. Is Derek Lively the missing piece right now? No, but he will be the missing piece maybe within a year or 2 years of NBA experience. So are you willing to, quote unquote, ship the youth of your team to go get you that center right now, to compete right now? Or are you willing to hold off, continue building the youth movement you got to be able to compete for years to come whenever Derek Lively comes into his own, right? So here's the thing. I think the Mavericks do have enough to compete as is without a center. And the reason for that is the devil's advocate in me is like, all right, how much help do we really need to get Luka? Luka now has his second star. Luka has about 3 really good defensive wings. Luka now has a trio of centers. Not saying they're the best centers, but Rashawn Holmes and Derek Lively are definitely an upgrade from Dwight Powell and JaVale McGee that we had last year. Now, is Dwight Powell going to get all those minutes? That's left to be seen. You got Steph Curry coming off the bench, Tim Hardaway Jr. coming off the bench. You have Dante Exum that could probably fill a role on this team. Again, you have Josh Green. The list goes on. they have a formidable team now moving forward. And it is because I feel like we tend to forget the capabilities of a Kyrie Irving. I feel like we tend to ignore and forget the capabilities he has, and we forget where Luka Doncic is. Luka Doncic is going to be coming into his 6th season now, right? And I think we forget what 32-9-9 looks like. The thing is, there's untapped potential and untapped greatness in the Luka. And I'm not saying that, let's not, pair Luka up with the best players possible. But at a certain point, you got to be like, all right, they do have enough right now, and that right now could even develop to become better. And what I mean is Omax and Lively. What they could develop into becoming in the future, as far as the financial abilities and the flexibility that it gives you having rookies, and what they could potentially become in Omax being that wing defender we've always wanted Luka to be paired up with, and having a rim protecting center that we always needed Luka to have. Imagine how these players could develop with Luka, who makes the game easier for them. For those players, year 2 and year 3 could be the real the real pinnacle years for this Dallas Mavericks team and how they move forward. So what I'm saying is, yeah, the Mavericks are a center away from a championship, but they also have that center that would currently make them that center away from a championship in a year or two. Hope I ain't losing you, because I feel like the Mavs have that team. It's just you have to let that team marinate. Now, ideally, would I love for us to go get Capella? Heck yeah. But do I want to trade Josh Green to do it? Hell no. Do I want to go get PJ Washington? Hell yeah. Would I be willing to trade Tim Hardaway Jr. and Josh Green? I'd have to sleep on that. Now, I'm not saying PJ Washington is a center. What I'm saying is there's so many avenues to improve the team. And ideally, if you could find you a center that could be a starter today, and a starter right now that can protect the rim, roll run, pick and roll, max efficiency with Luka and Kyrie, then you elevate your room for contention and your window for winning. But I also feel like having the youth movement that we have right now with Derek Lively and Omax, you are also putting yourself to win in the future. I posed this question in multiple places before, and I've asked, do you believe that the Mavericks can win now and also win in the future while building the team? Because I strongly feel that the Dallas Mavericks can not only build the team up as they're going along, but they can win now and they can win in the future. So as far as this season specifically, do I think the Dallas Mavericks could win a championship? I don't think so, because they don't have that center right now that is experienced and ready to take over. But if you kept the team as is into the next season and the senior season after that, do I feel that they will be ready to win then? 100% I do. But again, what are you willing to sacrifice to get that center right now to win a championship this upcoming season? That's all going to be the $1 million, billion, trillion dollar question. Well, for us, probably a $15 to $20 million question. Are you willing to do what you need to do to get that center to put you over the hump? Because that is honestly the only thing right now on paper that could be holding the Mavericks back. Now, you never know. Rashawn Holmes and Derek Lively could, not Rashawn Holmes, but Rashawn Holmes could be one of the players that have a resurgence and just play magnificently for the Dallas Mavericks. And also Derek Lively could find a role on this team and give you a good solid 15 to 20 minutes a night. And if that happens, and if Omax develops into what the player a lot of us potentially see him to be earlier, then yeah, the Mavericks are contenders. But in the scheme of it, at the bottom of it, in the root of all of it, in the foundation of it, inside of that concrete, inside of the rebar, it comes down to who is the center. And in the center of the Dallas Mavericks' abilities to win a championship comes down to who is the center to get them into contention and to get them to winning the championship. That's all for today, man. It's been your boy TGK. Follow me here on, leave a like, whatever the case may be. I really love all this gear, man. Shout out. See, I even got this too, man. Dallas Mavericks Fan Cave. Anyway, catch you on the next one.